At the time of this particular video, this scientist is still among us. We don't know how long that's going to be, or if there's going to be a change or not going to be a change. But I wanted to share this with you today so you kind of know a little bit what's going on behind the scenes. Something nefarious, probably worse. But I'm beginning to think that I need to get another book. And this other book should be The Theories of Sir Bunny, if you know what I mean. Because as we look into this, you're going to see why. Let's get into this, my darlings. Look here. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a former, I've got a highlighter here. I'm going to be talking to you about a former military physician. He was actually a flight surgeon with NASA. Now, I got a lot to say about NASA, and if you knew what their background was, you'd probably have a lot to say as well. But that's for another video. Maybe we'll start that Sir Bunny book of theories, right? Can't say the C word on here a lot because, well, you know. So this gentleman is a former military physician. His name is Dr. Gregory Rogers. Now, Dr. Gregory Rogers has a story to tell. He was a physician with NASA for over 33 years. There are some things that he cannot talk about, and especially he's got classified information that he can't talk about. But there's a person that he's friends with, and he is writing a book, or he did write a book, and it was published last year. But this friend name is Linda Molton Howe. Interestingly enough, Linda lives very, very close to where General McCaslin lived. So getting into this, Dr. Gregory Rogers, handled a lot of classified material. He's not going to discuss anything. I mean, I asked, okay? So here's the thing. He and Linda have been working on a particular book. Now that book he gave to her on a particular thumb drive. She's been working on this project for him because Linda, let me tell you who Linda is. She's an investigative journalist. She's 84 years old. She's a smart cookie. And believe me, she has a lot going on. So they've been working on this for about 3 months. Now here's the thing. Every time they tried to work on this, every time they tried to pull it up, something went wrong. Something interfered, something delayed them. Finally, she returned from California, because he is in California. She's, I believe, in Arizona. She returned from California and started working on what? Ancient aliens. Y'all know that show. A lot of scientists that we've been hearing about have been affiliated with that show. But just a few days ago, she called him with some very, very grave concerns. The grave concerns is that all the recordings, because evidently they've been recording back and forth, and he's been talking to her, she's taking recordings, she's taking excerpts out of the recordings, writing them down. They're into this full big project. All the recordings they made together are unusable. That isn't right. Unusable. There we are. It's unusable. Her IT tech analyzed them, and what he found? There was an artificial electrical interference, specifically affecting the recordings between Dr. Gregory Rogers and Miss Linda Molton Howe. Didn't affect any other work. No other work was affected. It did not affect no other recordings. Just theirs. Not her other work, not his other work. So everything had to be re-recorded. And it has to be re-recorded, but now there is a safety concern for both of them. Now he is starting to get some little contact here and there, being told to stop, that sort of thing. You know, just everyday science things now, right? I'm being facetious. So Dr. Rogers checked his own system, and his original file was gone. His file on her computer was gone. Now listen to what I'm saying. His computer was hacked, and his file for his book, his project, was completely wiped out and gone from his computer. Not only that, but on her computer, his file was completely gone. In fact, she checked every other file that she had on her computer, and they're all fine, all intact. But his file is gone. That's concerning. That would get my attention. So luckily, he had a few backups. He had 3 backups. He had 3 different thumb drives, and he was able to upload it to her again. And quite frankly, she didn't want it. She's scared now. I would be too. She didn't want it. She was concerned. She was worried. But he sent it to her again, and she rushed out this publication due to the concern. Well, it was published last August of 2025. But from that time going on, other unusual things have been happening to him, including issues with his phone recently, people contacting him, people getting involved. He's not going to go into big detail because he doesn't want to, but he's pretty much made a statement that he now is in Oklahoma, and his neighbors and they are, well, very prepared, if you get my drift. He went on to say this statement now, like many others do. He has no reason to self-harm. He has no reason to think anything other than he will be here. His wife is concerned. His family is concerned. And now he's seeing all these reports of all these other scientists. And there are many scientists like him that are still here among us and talking about it. And he has decided to go somewhat public with this, only because he wants people to understand. This puts many scientists, officials, individuals in very sensitive positions, and these situations are not normal. And he said everybody needs to get to the bottom of it. And he's going to now continue to make videos. He's going to say some things. So the bottom line is he waited 33 years to tell his story. Well, what is his story about? His story is about a reversed, engineered get ready, UAP. For those who don't know, UAP, it's a big, long acronym. You may as well just say UFO. Hey, I'm from the 1900s. A flying saucer. Yeah, flying saucer. If I can write today. A flying Hauser. That's what it looks like. You get it. A saucer. The point of the matter is, he has firsthand information about a reverse engineered flying saucer with the government. He knows it can affect his career. He knows it can affect his family. And it was not an easy decision, but his family made a collective decision to put it out. Now here's the rub. He doesn't know if Linda is being targeted. He doesn't know where she stands in all this. But the evidence is there, and she has it. Is this selective interference? Is this repeated disruptions? Well, let me just give you a few other little things. You see, agencies like the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, that is the AARO, the Anomaly Resolution Office. It's an all-domain. Claims transparency, but in, well, his opinion, and I guess in mine, this is just an updated version of the project that, I don't know, might be a blue book. They are not telling the truth, is what he says. And that is very concerning because evidently he's been watching these last congressional hearings about all of everything that's been going on. And this was in the past. They haven't had one quite of late. And he said it's very, very disappointing. Because he said the last UAP congressional hearing, people continue to speak out. People continue to post. And yet it's all kind of rushed under the rug. So the bottom line is, my friends, this is another one. And this isn't the only one. He is starting to speak out. Dr. Gregory Rogers, remember his name. Linda Molton Howe. But my question now is, she's starting to be affiliated with ancient aliens. Didn't some of those scientists that were affiliated with ancient aliens, haven't they gone missing? But to think that this information that he had regarding a project and regarding a book all became unusable because there was an electronical interference. So basically somebody hacked into the computer, is his opinion, and basically just put a sound wave over it. That's all they did. They only have to do is put a screech sound, a sound wave. You can't use it. No other work had it. No other recordings have it. And now everybody is worried about their safety. And he's putting out statements that he's now just going to start speaking out. Whatever will come, will come. Because he says this is serious enough. And someone from Congress, and I do believe, I pretty much think I know who that is starting to speak out about it as well. Do we believe that the government may tell us the truth on this? Sure, I do. Do we believe that we're being told what will happen now? What the solution, what the resolution is? Sure, I believe that too. The more we get into this and the more we see, I just want you to know, keep an eye on NASA. Keep an eye on this gentleman and this lady. But I want to know what's going on with ancient aliens. Aren't you surprised that they've not been taken down here's something that I'm going to just say. After David Wilcox, after that situation, what happened to him, it was like the next day I turned on my television and there was a marathon of ancient alien programs. I just thought it was in bad taste. Am I wrong in that? I think not. But hey, So let's get out the cards because, my darlings, again, just like I told you in this last one, there's more coming. There's more going to be coming out. And let's see where this is going. I'll be right back. Here we are back again. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. And also let me know in the comments. You can say yes or no. Should I get another book for Sir Bunny's theories? The sea theories. Should I get another book? I'm thinking probably yes, but hey, I really take your vote into consideration too. Today we have House of Zelda, the Truth Oracle. I don't think you've seen this one, not for a long time. I don't read with these, and you'll see why, but here we are. Grandma's coming to the rescue with her fortune-telling cards and the fire element. Here we are. Now, energy. Remember, this is physics, science, physics, energy, quantum energy. Now we're asking, tell us now, what more should we be knowing about this specific situation? My friends, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not so sure that it's all about UFOs, UAPs, flying saucers, any of those things. I think it runs much deeper. It's the science behind these things. It's the science behind what's behind. There we go. First one. It's time to look closer. It sure is. And there's a mirror. And I think at this point, to me, the reason I made this card, I like this mirror, but this mirror reminds me of a portal, a picture of a portal that I saw. And I do believe that it's time to look closer to a lot of things. Are there things that you and I can find out? No. If I did find it out, I think I would be concerned. But you see, I'm not in an echelon, okay? I'm not on the level where I really know anything. Not like these scientists do. I'm a little on the woo-woo side. But there's many of us out here that we know there's more, right? We know there's more. That's really what got me into the paranormal, because see, back in those days, my friends, 50 years ago, when I was doing my paranormal and all of this other stuff, we didn't even call it paranormal. We called it ghost hunting. We didn't know. Not in my circle, didn't know about portals. But we knew that there were reasons you didn't go into the woods alone. You knew that people disappeared. We just couldn't put a name to it. See, and I think that's what happened with a lot of things now. We know, but we can't label it. We can't put a name to it because we know enough to know we don't know enough. Pardon me. These things, my darling, have been going on since the beginning of time. And I will tell you that not every UFO, not every UAP, not every flying saucer is a demon. No. Overlooked evidence. On purpose. And of course, now, the cards don't lie. We're doing the energy. And this is entertainment. Look, what else do we have to do today? contact coming to you? Well, I just think there's more than meets the eye. Quite frankly, I don't think it means physically contact coming to you or to me, but I believe that the more we seek more knowledge, the more we dig into this, the more we're going to know. This is serious. Yes, Kitty, my darling. Yes, it is. Should we continue to look into it? I believe we should. I believe we should because, frankly, those secrets, and I'm getting out Mosha here, those secrets that are so hidden, pardon me, we probably wouldn't know. We probably would not. We're not going to be finding out any of those things. We know what they want us to know. And here's what I'm going to say to you. I submit to you, my dear friends. Do you think what they want us to know is really the truth? Because, you see, I wonder if we are to be led down another pathway, on another journey. You know, have you ever heard of things like predictive programming? Oh, I think you have. That's why a lot of this is overlooked. Because sometimes we should know what we're looking for. Many times we don't. That's why it gets overlooked. How do you know if you're going to overlook something if you don't know what you're looking for? That's the same in the Nancy Guthrie case. Which, my darlings, we're sitting and waiting, aren't we? We're sitting and waiting. We're listening to everybody's, look at this, a key. A key. The key people. Key people are the core of the problem. Yes, pass. As in, could it be a hall pass? No. Could it be that you can have a pass or a password to get into something? Yes. I'm going to tell you why I don't read these cards very often. These cards are so thick. No, not thick. Slick. But they feel like when they're together, they feel almost like they've got static on them. And they don't shuffle. They're okay. They're okay. Maybe if I used them more, maybe if I put a little baby powder on them, they'd be okay. Maybe. I should try it. They are good cards. Let's see what's next. See, they're sticking together here. Sorry, I am sorry. The unspoken apology of eternal regret. You know, that's my question when it comes right down to that moment. You know, even Dr. Rogers, he's not sorry, but there's a part of him that is. You know, he's got to follow through. Look at all these other people. They're not sorry. It's an unspoken apology, but do they have eternal regret? Yes, but you know what? I don't feel that their regret is of anything that they have done. I feel that any apology would be on behalf of any organization or anything else that they worked within. This eternal regret means they regret perhaps being involved with an agency or other things that was built on lies and misleading. It's kind of hard to think of, isn't it? Think about that a minute. Think about these people. They've done their job. None of them went into these positions that they were in. None of them. None of them went into these positions that they were in to say, you know, I want to be a part of the big cover-up. I don't think so. I mean, look, I was married to a military Navy officer at one point in my life. There were things that he couldn't tell, and rightfully so. You don't want to be talking about things, secrets, right? But there comes a time, and I think that's where these people are like, how can this be happening? A divine intervention. Won't that be grand? And I can tell you this, it's serendipity, a catalyst, and karma. I believe, and let's just forget about those for a minute, and let's think of a divine intervention stepping in. Because at one point there has to be. I have that faith that there has to be. Ooh, come on, card. Cool down, a calm, a pause, a solidification. I think it's going to be a little bit before we get to that point of a cool down, but I do believe it's coming, but not yet. I believe that there's now going to be too many people. You know, when it gets to that point where there's too many people coming forward and saying things, that something has to be done. See, I'm going to tell you something. This isn't an issue for Congress or FBI or White House or any of these things, because what I do believe, it's a part of the echelon that is not a part of that. It's much bigger. Can they do anything about it? Except try to pat us on the head and say, have another cup of coffee and a piece of peach pie, Zelda. Trash, waste, worthless, and a mouse. So do I feel now, yes, kind of telling a story here, isn't it? That's what we want. The trash, worthless. I do believe at some point, you know, everybody's going to get to the point where they just say, look, this is so bull. I don't think so yet. But I also believe that they know how distracted that we human race become. And there will be something more come to take the place. So they will be able to put it in the trash. Basically, that means put it in the file 13. Put it to the side, because something else will be coming. This Gregory Rogers looks to be such a nice man. And truthful. I mean, let's think about this for a second now. This is the first time that I've heard of him, and it could have been that I've just not done enough research, but this is the first time that I've heard of a flight surgeon being so involved. So when you think of a flight surgeon, I'm going to just say, could this flight surgeon have looked into something? Could he have seen something? Could he have examined something from something that was flying around and maybe even crashed or not crashed? Or could there have been? Could he have seen some things? Well, yeah, by the look on his face, I'm sure. Here comes Mosha to save the day. 10 of clubs. This is a lump sum of money, and this is government money. And I'm also going to tell you, I do not believe that any of these scientists have been offered any money in order to make them be quiet, because I don't believe it's coming from that entity. They're just going to want to delete the information, trash it, like Dr. Rogers' information this project was, and on Linda. And my question is, if I were Linda Molton Howe, I think I would pause whatever it is that I was doing with Ancient Aliens, don't you? Yeah, hello. This one here is talking about you need to be concerned because there may be a ticket to paradise. I hope not. And it shows that he's married, definitely so. It looks like he's had a very fulfilling marriage. He talked to his family about should he bring things forward, and is he able to, or would he be able to? Would he be going? And his family encouraged him to do it. This King of Spades is somebody that is very grounded. This would be Dr. Rogers. Very grounded. Holding a high esteem for being a family man. The Seven of Clubs is a card of looking for fulfillment. This is all about, when it comes up here, the lilies, it's talking about immortality. Now, immortality is a funny thing because, quite frankly, we hear somebody being immortal and we think that they live forever. And quite frankly, that may not always be the case. I know. I do believe that we all carry a gene within us that could be immortal DNA. I'm convinced of that. Think of Moses, think of Abraham, think of Sarah. All of these people that lived during that time was 800-900 years. My goodness. Can you imagine? They, during, and in this realm, would most likely be considered immortal. When we talk about immortals, we talk about things, creatures of the nights, and especially like a vampire. And do you know that vampires, I'm going to say this, in the United States came out of the region of the Appalachian Mountains? Why? Because if you want to know, the Appalachian Mountains and that whole Smoky Mountain range is probably the closest looking mountain range in the United States, just because of how it looks. I think the Grand Tetons are up there too, but and I'm saying this because of what is associated with the Appalachian Mountains, is the closest to the Carpathian Arc. Did you know that? Because in the Carpathian Arc, you have a lot of watchers. You have a lot of different things, probably some things you don't even want to know about and hear about. Same thing, skinwalkers, they just call them differently. Shapeshifters, fays, fairies, imps, demons, you name it. Now, could Dr. Rogers know about any of these things? You know, at this point, would you be surprised if we said yes? I would not. And the fact that this card comes up and talks about, and with the lilies are always about life. But with this card coming up and talking about immortality, but it's also talking about life, happiness with family, and perhaps sorrow. And I'm sure that Dr. Rogers, with his family at risk and so forth, I mean, that's a big burden. Dr. Rogers has got to be in his late 70s, if not older, maybe. He looks good. Here's another card, this 8 of diamonds. Broken glass. Now this is an air element. This is all about the money. This is all about grounding. This is an air element, communication, I would say. So I would think now that there may be a cool down in communication, and 44 is a master builder number. We don't add that together. Master builder number of 44 of that level means it is a high level. Wow, what are we saying here? A high level person, a high level builder, past all of the planning and putting together, actually looking into expand into the building. This broken mirror is all about a death of a friend. Now, Linda Molton Howe, like I said, lives very close to General McCaslin, and that, my darlings, is concerning for her and concerning for Dr. Rogers. This is a fall timing card, and it is a fox. And quite frankly, another part of this saying, people that betray other ones. In this, I would be very careful if I were them who I talk to at this point. I'm not even sure that I would just go public with it. I would just shut up. Quite frankly, I mean, think about that. But, you know, everybody's different. It basically says you can't hardly trust an acquaintance. You can't hardly, you've got to see things on a ground level. And this is a number 11, which is a master builder number as well. That master builder number is all about an 11 in the beginning foundation stages. So what does this tell us? Be careful of who you meet. Be careful of who you talk to when you first talk to them, because you never know when a friend may be a foe. Wow, that was a rhyme. So be sly as a fox. And this is an autumn fall timing card. Do I feel that it could take that long? Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Before we see anything more, I do believe this is going to go on through the summer. That is that is investigative journalist Linda Howe. If I can pick these cards up. And I turned that over. I wasn't supposed to right now, but I did. That's okay. You know what this card is? This 4 of clubs, being swindled, mistrust, but also being involved and being in bed with the devil. You see, the 4s in cartomancy, for me, how I learned, they're not bad cards, but they certainly aren't good. I would say they really do lean more toward the negative of a situation. But this is the worst card. And it's because when you look down on it, back in the Renaissance times, when I was reading cards about 200 or 300 years ago, right? There you go. When you look down on it, it looks like a 4-poster bed. That's what it's supposed to look like. And that tells me not getting in bed with, has been in bed with people that are nefarious. And you can't help it. You can't get out now. You know too much. That's how things are going. This is a summer timing card, and I was just talking about summer. It is all about wait and see what happens, trying to stay grounded with the energy, but it's also about money. This 7 of diamonds, we have the 8 there, the 7 of diamonds is a card of achievement, but it's a card of determination, and I believe that Dr. Rogers and Linda Molton Howe are very determined to hold on to information and to put it out. I think they've got another project coming up. I'm not sure. I know she has. But this is all about communication, and see, their communication together was just basically erased. This, last but not least, my darlings, this Ace of Spades is not a good card, equal to the Death card in the tarot. It's all about loss, it's all about an end, and let's pray to God that Dr. Rogers will be okay, and Linda. I don't like to see that. I don't predict that. To me, that's a God thing. People say, well, when is this one? No. You don't, no. You ask God, and if he wants you to know, he'll tell you. Usually 9 times out of 10, he won't. This card here is all about false friends, a false charmer. It's amazing, isn't it? Someone who is false and making you feel as though, oh, they're a friend. You can tell me whatever. It's funny. It's time to rest. And I do believe that might be a message for Dr. Gregory Rogers. Just step back a little bit. See what's going to happen. Because, we have that right here. Cool down. And we have this other. Did we have another one here? Time to rest? No, that was this one. But cool down. And I think that's what it's telling us. Cool down. Because I do believe there's going to be a divine intervention. I do believe there's going to be something that comes about. This won't go on forever, my friends. It won't. The roll of the dice, take a chance. And it's a leap of faith. I do believe that's what they are doing. Dr. Rogers, Linda Molton Howe, they rolled the dice and they took a chance because they believe that everybody needs to know. It's concerning, yes it is. Last but not least, here is a gentleman, and that is Dr. Rogers. It is considered to be a married gentleman. Basically, it's a card that says, it's an indicator card for the person that is being read cards for, and it's Dr. Rogers. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? The number 2 is a partnership, is a card of marriage. That's what it's for. So my darlings, do me a favor, put in the description, should we do the book for Sir Bunny's theories? Number 1. I'm going to keep bringing this to you. If you want to keep, I've got more. We're going to talk about NASA. I've got more. We're going to continue to think about it and talk about it. Because, you know what? Sometimes behind the curtain, behind the scenes, there's a lot that we need to talk about. Thanks so much for being here. There's another one right here if you want to catch up and take a look. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.